When I get home, I want you. When I get home, I want you. Hello, 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 I got places to be. Places to be. Hello, I got places to be. Like me next to you, and you next to me. Hello, I got places to be. Like me next to you, and you next to me. Hello, I got places to be. Like me next to you, and you next to me, and you next to me, and you next to me, and you next to me. Hello, I got places to be.
Pretty brown, got me weak in the knees. Slow up, you hold me down, I'm readjusting my speed. I've been gone too long, baby doll, don't leave, okay, I'm mad. Put up on the gas, running up numbers, shifting the axis like I was NASA. What if you believe they put a man on the moon, then damn what I gotta do? Gotta move that ass, that's right. Tell me what that fast track like. Baby girl, there's nothing that can keep me from you. Haters always wanna keep me from you. Got me picking up my speed now for you. Please be loyal. You know you got the hello, I got places to be. Like me next to you, and you next to me.
Hello, I got places to be. Like me next to you, and you next to me.
Hello, I got places to be. Like me next to you, and you next to me, and you next to me, and you next to me, and you next to me. Hello, I got places to be. Who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own. Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own. Hard to keep my focus on what matters. Man, I'm hit my line like some just got hit up on your block. You can rest and sure it's not us. Sweeping out the wave, catching waves. They say, we ain't seen you on the block cause I've been out the way. Chasing millions in my safe, I found a better way. Someone on the island, let me kick it, this might get away. I pour up a drink for all my who ain't see the day. Trying to finish this who I started with. Way too many fallen soldiers, no I can't forget. Hope they got headphones up in heaven, you can vibe out and just hit it. It's just certain shit you can't forget. Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own. Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own. Kanye and Jay still brothers, they both billionaires. And we ain't see it, I lost my brother when we was millionaires. I wasn't scared to die with him, that was my biggest fear. I got your son and your daughter like you still here. Know how I feel to lose a brother, we got a bond still. 26 years, Pops got out to see his son killed. And I don't give a f***, I hang with a crip, I see blood still. I can be the cleanest millionaire, I'm from the mud still. Dad with his chain on, I call it blood diamonds. It's to the point I dropped my own low so they could find us. And it's been months and they still had it. Kanye did it for the city, he co-signed. Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own.
Smoke an iPad, ain't funny like that. It get ugly like that, can't get no money like that. Holy Father, please let me step in. Can't talk to Buddy like that, it get bloody like that. Whole lot of steppers and they step in. It ain't sunny like that, and they coming right back. And when you on tour, I bet you check in. Cause my guys back to work, it's a Monday like that. And when you text, change the beginning of every word. You will speak to me with only no cap. Me and your big homie go back, and homie don't rap. You don't know me like that.
Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own. Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own. Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own. Like who's here when I need a shoulder to lean on? I hope you're here when I need a demons to be gone. And it's not fair that I had to fight them all on my own.
I spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club. I got a lot of juice, so please bring a cup, please bring a cup, please bring a cup. Fill it up, bottles up, quick, quick, drink it up. Fill it up, bottles up, drink it up, yeah. quick, drink it up, fill it up, bottles up, drink it up. Yeah, I spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club. I got a lot of juice, so please bring a cup, please bring a cup, please bring a cup. Fill it up, bottles up, quick, quick, drink it up, fill it up, bottles up, drink it up. Yeah, I spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club.
Sip that juice, drink it all just like you should. Sip that juice, drink it all, that sweet, that good. Sip that juice, drink it all just like you should.
Boys in the club. Please bring a cup. Fill it up, bottles up, quick, quick, drink it up. Fill it up, bottles up, drink it up. Yeah, I spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club. Boys in the club, boys in the club. Please bring a cup, please bring a cup. Fill it up, bottles up, quick, quick, drink it up. Fill it up, bottles up, drink it up. Yeah, I spill my juice for the boys in the club.
Disco X on the line, just as I suspected. No one really gets over me. I'm unaffected. Why would you try to ever put me second? You're just another groupie to me. No, I'm out here single, and I need some real. Now I got standards. Give a fuck how you feel. I'm out here single. Tell me what's the deal. Now I got standards. Give a fuck how you feel. No broke boys, no new bands. 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 I'm that bitch, give me my tens. Ain't no lie, ain't no shade. But call me, then you know he paid. Looks so good, makes no sense. Badass bitch with my badass friends. No broke boys, ain't no shade. But call me, then you know he paid. No broke boys, no new bands. 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 No tap, no tap, no tap, no tap. No broke boys, no new bands. No broke boys, no new bands. No broke boys, no new bands. No tap, no tap, no tap, no tap. No broke boys, no new bands. I'm that bitch, you give me my tens. Ain't no lie, ain't no shade. But call me, then you know he paid. Looks so good, makes no sense. Badass bitch with my badass friends. No broke boys, ain't no shade. But call me, then you know he paid. No broke boys, no new bands. No broke boys, no new bands. No broke boys, no new bands. No tap, no tap, no tap. Disco. No broke boys, no new friends. I'm that pressure, give me my tens. Ain't no lie, ain't no shade. But call me, then you know he paid. Looks so good, makes no sense. Badass bitch with my badass friends. No broke boys, ain't no shade. But call me, then you know he paid. No broke boys, no new friends. No broke boys, no new friends.
Alrighty, good evening, everybody. You are watching the Patriot Preaches. My name is Ashwin Tachari. Today's episode 60, so we've got a great show for you guys tonight. It's gonna be about masculinity, and I'm gonna be having a guest on. He doesn't want to expose himself, so he's gonna be going by anonymous. I'm gonna be referring to him as anonymous during this interview. Um, he's a very smart guy. He wanted to interview me about masculinity. That's going to be the topic today, and how gym culture affects politics. So, yeah, we're going to be getting straight into it. And if you can unmute yourself right now, you can go ahead. Anonymous. Hold up. Let
How
me.
you doing, Ashwant?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Here, talk again. Let me make sure your volume's good. Speak again. Let me make sure your volume's
Check,
good.
check.
Okay.
Check one, check two.
Okay, yeah, yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. You want to start? You want to introduce the
Yeah,
question
for
today?
sure. So I'm going to be going by Anonymous, and we're essentially doing a project with a specific institution that's focusing on how online fitness communities push these ideas of masculinity and testosterone, and how that kind of forms right wing ideology in young men and other individuals in many different types of communities. And so, we thought that Schwant would be a amazing candidate and also like interviewee for this project, just because of his wide experience with different types of topics that he talks about in this channel. And so appreciate you having me on, and we can get started.
Yeah, for sure. All right. You can start with the questions if you want. Get
Yeah, so good. So the first section of this interview is going to be just like basic demographic information. So what's your age?
I'm 20 years old.
20 years old. And your gender identity?
I'm obviously a male, right?
Okay, and then what's your ethnicity or
So
racial
ethnically,
background?
yeah, ethnically I'm Indian and I'm Sri Lankan, so I'm mixed.
Okay. And then what's your occupation slash field of study currently?
Yeah, currently I'm majoring in political science, on track to become a lawyer, so pre-law. That's what I'm doing.
Perfect. And then, do you currently live in an urban, suburban, or rural area?
I would say suburban. Yeah, I would say suburban.
Okay.
I'm not in the hood.
And then, and then, how long have you been training or consistently been going to the gym?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't go to the gym anymore, but I used to go to the gym about a year ago. I would go consistently every day for about a couple months, 5, 6 months, and I got really jacked. Right, so yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. And then, when you used to go to the gyms, what kind of gym did you used to usually go to? Was it a commercial chain, university gym, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I used to go to a commercial chain, like one that was near my house, and then sometimes I would dabble in the university gym when I'd be there late nights. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. And then, when you used to train, how often did you train per week? Was it pretty much every day?
Yeah, I would train about every day for about an hour or two. Yeah.
Got it. Perfect. And then, would you say that you engage still to this day with fitness related content online? And if you do, what platforms do you usually interact with?
As of now, I don't engage with fitness related content because I don't work out, so I just don't feel like I need to.
Gotcha. And then, last question for this section is, how would you describe your general political orientation if you had to pick one? So, conservative, moderate, liberal, libertarian, apolitical, other.
Yeah, I don't affiliate myself with any party, not the Republicans, not the Democrats, so I would say I'm apolitical.
Okay.
I care about
Perfect.
the
So that's pretty much
Americans.
section,
Yeah.
and now we'll begin.
Oh yeah. No, you're
Okay.
good. You can go.
Perfect. I'll write that down.
Yeah.
So now we'll be going into the section. You're good? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're good. You're good. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So I'll be going into section two of this interview, which is basically about like the background and like gym culture. And so to kind of start this conversation off, like, can you start by describing your fitness journey when you were pretty active, and just kind of talk about when did you start and like why did you start going to the gym?
Yeah. So I mean, I think a lot of guys when they start out at the gym, they've got one thing in mind, and it's to get girls or to look better. So I mean, that's kind of why I started because I was a pretty scrawny guy. I mean, growing up, elementary, middle school, high school, I was always a pretty small guy. It's just because of my stature. I'm an ectomorph. So yeah, I started going to the gym to look better, try to get girls. You know, the classic.
Got it. And again, just to kind of reiterate, like, was that the only motivation you had, or was there like, did you have like any pressure from like the community, or like was it your health, appearance? You wanted to gain discipline? Were there any other factors that kind of drove you to go to the gym?
Yeah, it was mainly because of appearance. You know, because I was a pretty small guy. I was pretty skinny, so sometimes I would get made fun of. You know, the classic high school bullying when the jock pushes you in the hallway, kind of like that. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta start going to the gym. I've got to get stronger. So I started going to the gym 11th grade, and a lot of my friends were going to the gym too. So we would just hit the gym together. Not professionally, but we were newbies, so we weren't that great at it, but we tried our best. Hit it for like 30 minutes a day. You know, drink a protein shake, and we thought that that would be enough, but I figured out later on that wasn't really doing anything because I did not see any changes in my body. So that was the beginning of my fitness journey. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's awesome. And to kind of transition into like more of the gym culture, have you ever felt that gym culture carried these certain sets of values or code? And
Gym culture.
if so, what values do you pushes
Yeah.
to obviously?
Yeah. Okay. Gym culture. I would say now it's kind of evolving into more of a right wing ideology. And if you've ever heard of Ziz, the guy who takes steroids and he died of a heart attack in like 2010, he's a popular figure in the gym culture. You've got Trent Twins, you've got Alex Eubank. Who else? You've got a lot of gym influencers, right, that influence the youth based off their insecurities. I mean, you've got what is it? You've got Alex Eubank. His story was he was a very skinny guy, and then he started working out. Apparently, his life changed. Right, he started seeing differences with people, with how people treated him, and I think this is the same story for a lot of gym influencers. They start to gain a sense of what is it? Notoriety, right? They start to get a little more attention. So I think that's kind of how it starts out, right? And then politically, I would say,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. The set of val. Do you want me to talk about the set of values right now?
yeah, yeah, for sure,
Okay, okay.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. If you have any personal experience with it, or
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about something funny. It's like the guys at the gym. They think, you know, staying there for 2 hours, drinking protein shakes, like kind of like the gym bro vibe. It's kind of stupid, right? Because they're pretty lacking in all other areas. And when you guys when these guys focus on the gym a little too much, they start to disregard other aspects of their life, disregard social skills, disregard education, finances, family time, friend time, relationships, just overall, just life. And they start focusing everything on the gym, meal prep, you know, getting the little broccoli, putting it in a little container, eating it. Oh, I'm big. Like, you know, nobody cares. Seriously, nobody cares. I mean, you should only go to the gym for one reason, and that's just for your health. Or unless you want to become a professional bodybuilder, but yeah.
yeah. So I guess to kind of ask you more like on a personal level, like when you initially went to the gym, what was your mindset going into the gym? Do you think you had like that gym bro mindset, or was it more of that mindset where you were solely just like you mentioned you wanted to get girls? So like, what like was that the only mindset you went with, or did kind of social media play a role in terms of how you view the gym?
Yeah, social media. I mean, I would use gym influencers as kind of like a goal. Like let's say this guy had a body type that I wanted. Like he had the type of chest I wanted. I would follow his workouts, and then I would take the best aspect of every influencer. Oh, this guy's good at training shoulders. So then I would watch his workouts on shoulders. I would do his workouts. And then regarding the goals, I mean, yeah, it's to get girls, but I would say just to look better, feel better about myself. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. That's awesome. And okay, so now we'll be moving on into like the other section of our interview, which is more about masculinity and physical identity. And so to kind of start this conversation off now, what does masculinity mean to you personally? Like, how do you see it represented in gyms or fitness spaces or even just in day to day life? Like, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I feel like masculinity is not attributed to the gym. I mean, you don't even have to step foot in a gym to be masculine. Like, and I think I can give you guys an example. You've got Harry Styles, right? He wears dresses. He wears nail polish. He wears makeup, right? And a lot of people would say, "Oh, he's gay. He's not masculine." But then you take a guy for Will Smith, for example. Is he masculine? Is he really a masculine guy? I mean, we know what happened with him in March 2022 when he slapped Chris Rock while his wife was cheating on him. So, and I think masculinity stems from standing for what you believe in, doing what you love, and trying to be the best at what you do. So I would say Harry Styles is more masculine than Will Smith because Will Smith cannot control himself. He lets his wife cheat on him. He has no self-respect, and I would say it's a great example. You got guys like Timothy Chalamet. When he won the Grammy, what he said was, "I wanted to be like the greats. I studied the greats, and therefore this is why I've always been inspired to be like the greats." Right? He was aspiring for greatness. He wanted to be better. He did what he loved, which was acting. And you would look at him, and he's kind of like a twink. You know, he's not like the most masculine looking guy. He's straight, but he's doing what he loves. He's being a good person, and I would say even being a good person has nothing to do with being masculine. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but we've got some political figures that are very masculine but are very evil. So I would say masculinity has nothing to do with going to the gym. Yeah.
So to kind of elaborate on that, this idea of that masculinity does not, is not inherently reliant on you going to the gym. Then what is it reliant on? Is this something that you build throughout the course of time, or like what is like if you were to talk to viewers that have no idea on what masculinity means, like what does that specifically mean to you?
Yeah, masculinity can be represented in a multitude of ways. I mean, a lot of people like to have this preconceived notion of going to the gym, getting big, strong, being an asshole. Okay, that's masculinity, but if you want to take a look at it, the fundamental definition of masculinity is behaviors generally associated with the boys, men, and it's socially constructed, right? So I would say being masculine is standing for what you believe in, whether it's right or it's wrong. It's going against all odds, even when everybody's against you, even when everything is evil, things aren't going your way. That determination, that competence, that strive, that determination, that's what makes masculinity, right? And I wouldn't even say it attributes to being a good person morally. It's just about standing for the truth, I would say. That's my definition of masculinity.
Got it, got it. And when you like, obviously we're a part of the audience in terms of how young we are, in terms of that, I mean in terms of the algorithms that we're involved in terms of social media and things like that. But how do you feel about ideas when people are talking about how men are so much more weaker in this generation? Like, how do you feel about that? Or when people talk about how society is getting feminized, these are common takes that a lot of people talk about in online fitness spaces, whether you look at huge bodybuilders or people that are gym rats. Like, how do you feel about these takes? I mean, do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? How do you yeah, like what are your overall ideas about these types of claims that are being said?
Uh, yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna address the first. Was the first point connected to moral social strength, or did I cover that already? So you're asking me about
Yeah,
about the idea of. Okay.
yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no, you already kind of covered it in terms of how you were talking about how like
Hmm.
physical strength is like not necessarily connected to moral, how it's kind of like how you perceive yourself in terms of how you like your own motivation and things like that. And so I think that's why I moved on to the other question of like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, the ideas of men have become weak. In a way, it is kind of true, but it's because the idea of masculinity has been mischaracterized in today's society. There's always a preconceived notion of people think masculinity is being hard. Like the Andrew Tates, the Joe Rogans. I mean, that's a form of masculinity, but not everyone represents themselves in that way. Not everyone is like, you know, exploits women on cam websites to make money. So it's like, and I'll give you guys an example. You have a guy that likes to crochet, let's say, right? And crocheting is, you could say it's a feminine hobby, you could say it's masculine, but a lot of people would say it's feminine. And let's say this guy who crochets, he goes to school, he crochets every day in recess, and he gets made fun of, but he doesn't give a shit, right? He doesn't care, right? And he keeps doing it, and then one day he starts making like a clothing brand based off his crocheting, like a custom made clothing brand. I would say he is more masculine than the guy that goes to the gym, takes protein powder, and tries to scam people, like the Andrew Tate copycats, if you know what I'm talking about. Like they try to sell you a course. I would say that guy who crochets is more masculine than the other guy that tries to sell fake courses and tries to act masculine. Because masculinity is doing what you love, but standing for what you believe in. So that's my take. Because society, they like to feminize a lot of these hobbies a lot of guys have, but there's no feminine hobby. There's no feminine hobby or masculine hobby.
Got it. Got it. And to kind of transition a little bit in terms of just like looking at this from like a greater scope of view, have you noticed any overlap in terms of fitness advice and politics or cultural commentary online? And how do you usually try to interpret or understand that overlap?
Yeah, so I mean, you see a lot of guys. I mean, and I'll give you another example. It's during the 2024 elections. Aiden Ross, famous streamer. You've got Joe Rogan. They've had Trump on, and Nelk Boys. They've had Trump. I think they've had Trump. Yeah, and a lot of their audience are young teenage boys, obviously. And with the ostracization of men, toxic masculinity that women like to portray on men, I think it's valid that they do retaliate by just supporting Trump, supporting that right wing ideology. The right wing um, toxic masculinity is counter to feminism, and feminism is what perpetuated this. Guys like Andrew Tate only started saying the shit he did was in opposition to feminism because women were getting out of control. And this is the first time in history that women have gotten a lot of power, right? They're able to vote, they're able to get high paying jobs, they're able to climb the ladder in corporate. They have a lot of you know privileges now. So I feel like toxic masculinity is a mischaracterization. Right now, it's honestly just when women have no control over the power that they have now, and they're just trying to figure out how to use it. So I think the political right wing ideology forming in the gym culture it's valid. I think it's valid, but if we're gonna take a look at red pill, red pill is the idea that you understand women, right? You treat them in a way where you have control. And this is because if you've watched The Matrix, Neo gives Morpheus gives Neo the red pill, and now he knows what everything's that's going on. And then you have the blue pill. That's like the Disney type of life. You know, you meet the girl in high school, you marry her, you guys live happily after. But we know that's not how life works, right? So the red pill, it's like you're basically realizing that we're in a matrix. We're in a world that's not real, and you start to realize that women lie, women manipulate. Women aren't the cute creatures that we make them seem out to be, right? Which, and I'm not saying all women are like this. I'm saying majority of the women today are very promiscuous. This feminism perpetuates the promiscuity. So I think the this is kind of a, what is it, development, and it's a counter to feminism. This right wing ideology that develops in gym culture. That's my opinion.
Got it. Got it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Okay, perfect. So we'll be going to section four now. So now we're me transitioning to the ideas of testosterone and how that affects our body. And so, kind of get this conversation started now. When you hear the word testosterone, what does that mean to you? Whether you want to talk about it biologically, symbolically, socially, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when this term gets tossed around in conversations?
Yeah, to me, I think it's testosterone is a biological just the aspect. I mean, if you're a man, you're gonna have testosterone, and that's why you're just more aggressive. You're stronger than women, right? And that's why women have estrogen to carry the child, to be more nurturing, caring, empathetic. And I would say testosterone is the thing that is the biological aspect that makes a man, right? That's why we're able to build muscle faster. We're able to be more decisive. It's just the biological aspect of how men were created.
Got it. And kind of talking about a little bit more about supplements now. Like, do you think testosterone levels or even supplements like TRT affect personality or the way people act in front of different types of people, whether if it's yeah, like certain groups?
Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of attributes to like the gym bro archetype. I mean, if you want to be a bodybuilder, yeah, you take TRT. But I've seen now we're seeing a development in TRT. We're seeing a usage in testosterone in the black pill community. And if you guys don't know what the black pill community is, black pill is the idea that looks are everything, right? Looks open doors for you. Looks get you jobs. Looks get you girls. Looks just make your life better. If you're an attractive man, your life is going to be 10 times easier than the guy who's unattractive. Or vice versa if you're a woman. So TRT or peptides, supplements are being used in looks maxing, black pill basically, to increase bone density in the face, clear skin, GH, I think it's called GHF. It's a peptide that helps clear up your skin. So I think these supplementations are better off uh, enhancing your appearance rather than going to the gym, because I feel like the gym really doesn't define you. I mean, unless you're taking it as a profession, unless you want to be a bodybuilder, or unless unless you care about your health for health purposes, I think there's no reason to use TRT unless it's a health condition you have less testosterone. If you're a girl, I mean, you don't need testosterone. I mean, you're a girl. It's like estrogen. So I mean, yeah, it's like I think testosterone levels. I'm not a scientist, but I think it makes you more aggressive if you take it. Your voice gets lower. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just a biological thing. I don't think it affects your personality or behavior that much.
Yeah, absolutely. This kind of Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of ties in with the next question of like some people see testosterone as this metaphor for discipline, dominance, vitality. Do you agree with that association? And do you have any personal experiences in terms of, obviously you hitting the gym or anybody else that you may know of? Do you have any personal experiences with that?
Yeah, I mean, testosterone affecting the way people think about gender, power. I mean, it's you have to understand this, that men are always going to be more powerful than women, right? I would say physically and most likely mentally as well. Like it's a biological aspect. God made us for different purposes. Women were made to birth the child, nurture, care, and then we were made to hunt. We were made to provide, be leaders, conquer, right? But that does not mean that we need to hate each other. We need to synchronize together, and that's what's happening in today's society. Feminism, toxic masculinity, it's two sides of the same spectrum. And I think we need to realize that testosterone has nothing to do with, I would say, oh, well, okay, you know what? Yeah, testosterone has something to do with gender and power, obviously, right? But I'm just trying to, this is a different point I'm bringing up. Testosterone is just a biological thing that all men have. If you don't have testosterone, you're obviously a girl. What I'm saying is, women and men need to stop fighting. We need to synchronize because that's what we were made to do. Have beautiful families, and just be good people all around, and just develop the world. That's my opinion. I think testosterone doesn't. Testosterone and gender are linked. Testosterone is for men, and when you're a man, you're gonna have more power, physically, mentally, right? But that doesn't mean that women. I mean, there's women that can exceed those expectations, and it's valid that they can be leaders as well. But they have to prove themselves. They have to rise above the average man. So it's like, oh, okay, you're exceptional. You can take on this load. Pause. That was. You get it? Like, take on this load. Yeah, I'm done. I was just making a joke.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's really
Alright.
no, you're good. It's really interesting that you brought up the point about being able to connect well with women because one of the trainers that I interviewed as well regarding this topic, that was one of the things that he brought up in terms of like his call to action or talking about his experience in the gym community is that he really wants to see this idea of collaboration with men and women in terms of the gym space because he was discussing how like women tend to have much more higher emotional intelligence than men in terms of being able to voice them and just being able to control them. And so, what's your stance
uh,
on that? Like, do you agree
I,
with the idea of
I,
that? If
mhm.
men collaborate more with women, that would allow them to also help them be more independent.
Yeah. If I'm gonna be honest, I disagree with that
What's your
fully.
take on that?
Yeah, I disagree with that fully. I think men have much more higher and have a higher emotional intelligence, let alone just general intelligence than women, because women are emotional. So if you can manipulate them with their emotions, like that means their intelligence has no there's no point in having intelligence. You can be the smartest girl, but if you're manipulated by your emotions, there's nothing you can do. You're gonna lose every time. But and regarding the gym, I don't think there's a reason for women to go to the gym unless to be healthy, to obviously maintain body fat percentages and just keep your cardio up. I would say going to the gym regarding trying to be like big and strong, that's not a women's job. I don't think women should go to the gym to be like super masculine. It's just like you're a woman, you should just be a woman, just do what you like. But I don't think there's a need for you to be masculine or dominant. Uh, yeah, and we're seeing a lot of this. The women, they're trying to get like six packs and like broad shoulders. It's like, I don't know, man. I think it's just not it. I feel like you could. Do you agree with me on that? I feel like I don't know. It's kind of a touchy subject, but
Yeah, so like in terms so like now looking at the flip side, like do you think men could be emotionally manipulated as well? Because I mean, for example, if you're on testosterone or any other supplements, like what's your take on that then? Like can't the role switch as well?
no, because testosterone has nothing to do with the emotions. Women operate off emotion, and I think you've experienced this. I mean, if you've talked to women, if you know them, you can get them mad pretty easily, right? You say something. I've experienced this. You say something factually logical, objective, not subjective. They try to use the subjective reasoning to argue with you, and it doesn't make sense. It's just I'll give you an example. Let's say you have let's say Stalin, for example, would let's say you ask a woman. This has happened to me. I ask a woman who would be a better leader, Joseph Stalin or Kamala Harris. You want to know what they say? They say Kamala Harris because she's a good person. And I think you can kind of see where this is going. Joseph Stalin, he might have not been the greatest guy, but leadership ability does not equate to morality, doesn't equate to being a good person. And being a good person definitely has nothing to do with being a good leader. So you can kind of see where this goes. You ask a lot of women this, they're going to tell you the same thing. They operate based off emotion, right? And so I don't think they have the power to lead unless they are exceptional. And there's obviously exceptional women. There's obviously women that are not that emotional, but for the most part, yeah, I think men literally are just the more logical humans. And this is like undisputable. Everybody knows this. Men are the more intelligent gender on average. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Got it. I appreciate the insight on that.
Yeah.
And so now we'll be moving more to the next section of the interview, which is more about political identity and just understanding online communities. And so to kind of get this conversation started now, many fitness influencers tie discipline and strength to broader political beliefs, whether it's nationalism, traditional values, or even anti-woke sentiment. What's your take on that?
Yeah. I mean, are you talking about physical strength or mental strength? Because
I mean both, right? I mean, physical
yeah.
strength is just as important as mental strength as well. So, I mean, feel free to elaborate on both if you like.
Okay, so I mean, political beliefs. I mean, physicality has nothing to do with it, right? Because you can have a fat guy who's more intelligent than a fit guy, right? So it's like mental strength is what matters, right? The mind is what matters. The brain is what matters in politics. So relating the gym to politics, it's kind of absurd. It doesn't make sense. Politics is about speaking. Politics is about intelligence. Politics is about social relations. It's not about seeing who can lift the most. If that were the case, if it was about physicality, and it kind of is, right? It kind of is. You could see it with Gavin Newsom and JD Vance. Gavin Newsom is a very handsome guy. JD Vance is kind of fat, but I mean, it's good to open doors. It's good to make first impressions to look good. But I would say it mainly comes down to intelligence and mental strength, right? Yeah.
Got him. And do you think, I mean, in this day and age, do you think that a lot of the fitness spaces, whether if it's online or in person, have become so politically ingrained? And if yes, like, how do you think that happened, or why? Why is that?
Yeah. And it's this notion that being strong is related to being right wing. It's like the new thing, I would say. You see a lot of these real edits. You see a lot of edits with the gym influencers pushing right wing ideologies, and because they like to attribute being masculine with being right wing, and it doesn't make sense because the word masculinity is in and of itself mischaracterized in society. So it's all fucked up basically. And I think it's I don't think we should involve the gym with politics because politics and the gym are completely separate. They have nothing to do with each other, and you could make a stronger argument for black pill or looks as something that's more relatable to politics because looks do matter in politics. You have Justin Trudeau, handsome guy, maybe not the best political leader, but since he was handsome, he gets notoriety. You have guys like Luigi Mangione, killed someone, he's handsome. You see all the girls lining up, supporting him. So, I mean, looks matter in politics. I would say the gym plays a little bit into looks, but I don't think it's attributable to politics at all. Anyway.
Got it. And this kind of goes into the next question, but I kind of want to frame it in this way because this was a point that I brought up to many other folks as well before I came to you. But one of the ideas about right wing ideology is this idea of being this family man, right? Like if you're a man, then you should be this provider and protect your wife and your kids. That is a very right wing ideology that's been spiraling around, and so. what's your take on that? I feel like that's a lot of, that's one of the main motivators on a lot of why men go to gyms. I mean, in 2025, 2026, is that something that you've been influenced by as well? Is that something that you've seen with your peers? What's your take on that? I would love to hear your ideas on that.
Yeah, I think if you choose to have family, you should have family. If you don't, that doesn't make you any less masculine than you already are. So, if you have a kid, I mean, yeah, you should. That's just the right thing to do. Take care of the kid, take care of your wife, provide. But if you don't want a family, then I mean, that doesn't make you any less masculine. It's just you have a higher. Let's say you have a goal. You wanna be a lawyer. You wanna be a doctor. Go ahead, pursue that. You're still a masculine guy. So I think being a family man has nothing to do with masculinity, but it's standing for the truth. And standing for the truth is, let's say you do have a family, you should take care of them. That's the truthful thing. That's the rightful thing to do. Take care of them because you made the decision to have the family, the kid. So it's an obligation, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And appreciate the insight on that. And if you could recall when you first went to the gym or when you started to get into the gym culture, do you think ever since you did that, when you became more involved in the fitness culture, did that change where you viewed politics at all, or do you just keep gym and politics completely different?
Yeah, me, I keep gym and politics completely separate. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I mean, I would say if you're high IQ, you would keep it separate. Gym has nothing to do with politics, but people like to push the agenda. I mean, it's you know how these guys are. That the people control a lot of the things. They like to push things, push narratives, agendas. But yeah, I keep gym and politics very separate. Has nothing to do with each other.
Got it. Got it. And I mean, from your perspective, I mean, we have places like Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. A lot of these platforms are, a lot of fitness content creators use these platforms to push their own agendas, whether if it's fitness related or if they try to infuse politics with it. Uh, do you feel like these online communities shape the way how people actually view politics or identity? Because again, we talked about this earlier, and you kind of mentioned it that people try to correlate the gym to like right wing ideologies. And so, do you actually like see that in these online platforms? And obviously, as the audience, I feel like I've seen a lot of these clips myself, and so where do you stand? Because at the end of the day, like I said, we are part of the audience as well. So
Yeah, I mean the average audience isn't that intelligent, so I mean when the let's say I'm gonna call them the elite, the people at the top that push these agendas, the narratives. They're gonna target famous influencers like Aiden Ross, Bradley Martin, right? And Aiden Ross isn't a fitness influencer, obviously, but he has stuff to do with it. I would say, would you consider Joe Rogan a fitness influencer? Anonymous.
no, I
No.
wouldn't.
Okay. Okay. So then I would say like, let's say Bradley Martin. I mean, they would target him. They would you know, basically tell him to push these agendas. Going to the gym, taking protein. Guys like Andrew Tate, right? The Andrew Tate content stuff he spews on the internet, and young guys, teenagers, they see that, and then because of feminism, they're always felt like they're being ostracized, they're being attacked. They start shifting towards that ideology, and then they think that, oh my God, red pill, this is the greatest thing. When in reality, there's a lot of flaws in red pill, right? So you've got to learn to take the good and the bad from red pill. Red pill is inherently not bad, but if you take it too serious and if you fully immerse yourself in that ideology, it's not healthy. It's very flawed. So I mean, there's some truth in red pill that you must take and keep within you, just so you're aware and you know how to operate around, you know, women, the world. So that's my opinion. I think these fitness community or these fitness communities on TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube are, what do you call it, designed to influence young men in a way where they attribute politics, right wing ideology to fitness. Going to the gym makes you masculine, and that's what I'm trying to separate. That's what I want. I want people to understand that gym and politics have nothing to do with each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my.
and I think the interesting part about the conversation we were just having is this idea where, you know, we've seen a trend where, for example, Nelk Boys. I'm sure we can all agree that they're not content creators revolving around fitness. However, we've seen episodes of them where they've gone through gym transformations. For example, with Kyle, how he's shown that he was able to train his body and have a really good transformation. But it's just interesting because of his affiliation with Trump and how we've seen many episodes of him on his podcast. People will somehow connect those two together, and I'm sure a lot of his audience happen to be right wing young men. And so that somehow influences them to go to the gym. And I think that's the interesting thing about this topic is that you don't necessarily have to be a fitness content creator to push people to go to the gym. They'll somehow just connect those two ideas together. And do you agree with that? I mean, because again, as a part of the audience, we've seen even Joe Rogan. We talked about. We just agreed that he's not a fitness content creator, but he has created supplements with Alpha Brain or endorsed those products where it has gotten class action lawsuits on that. And so it's really interesting to see this trend where, you could really be anyone with a platform. And if you affiliate yourself with some high profile person, whether if it's Trump or, anyone else, and if they somehow happen to be right wing or whatever the case may be, the audience will run with that and start implementing it with their lives, just, who you are as a person. So, do you want to elaborate on that? I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of today's society, or the people at the top. Their plan is to. I wouldn't say it's Nelk Boys affiliating themselves with Trump. I would say it's Trump kind of affiliating with himself with the Nelk Boys, Aiden Ross, Joe Rogan, because that's kind of mainly one of the reasons why Trump won the election, because he got a lot of these young teenage boys who were lost, attacked by feminism, and he gave them kind of a light, a path, and showed them. He showed them that there is a way out, there is a right wing ideology that you can lean onto, and there is a way to be a man, and this is the way to be a man. And he has just created himself as this figure of a textbook manly man, the leader, the guy who gets with the chicks. And I would say Trump, specifically strategically targeted these influencers in order to gain popularity amongst the young men in order to win the election. So I would say it is about politics, obviously, and fitness. So it's all interdisciplinary. It all connects together. That's my opinion.
absolutely. And I think we were able to kind of cover all those questions in section 5. So
Yep.
that's awesome. I appreciate your insight on that. And so, I mean, kind of, as we go come to the end of this interview, in your perspective as a young man that was active, hopefully you're trying to get active again, or, still trying to implement fitness in your everyday life. Um, what's missing from today's conversation about men and masculinity and fitness? Like, what do you think is a missing gap that people don't really understand that needs to be filled in?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's missing is that masculinity has nothing to do with being in the gym. Masculinity has nothing to do with your physical stature. It has everything to do with your mind, how you treat people, and how you carry yourself. So, and I like to bring up this another the Will Smith example. The way Will Smith carries himself is not masculine. The way Timothy Chalamet carries himself is very masculine, even though they look opposite to each other, right? You would think Timothy Chalamet is the feminine one, but he in fact is the masculine one, and Will Smith is the feminine one. So I would say masculinity and fitness have nothing to do with each other, and it's about standing for the truth, which, like I reiterated, and it's about doing what you love, and not necessarily being a good person, but always standing up for what you believe in, no matter how many people come at you, attack you, tell you you're wrong. It's just about telling the truth, standing for what you believe in. That's masculinity, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this next question we kind of covered, but just to get like your remarks on this, do you think fitness can be separated, or do you think they're just inevitably linked to the point where it cannot be separated just due to how how much damage has been done, or how like, especially in 2025, 2026, like where we at, like is it impossible, or do you think it's still possible to kind of separate those two things?
I think with the way things are going, I think it's kind of linked to each other. I mean, we've already seen the development of right wing ideology and gym culture. So, and in, the Nelk Kyle transformation, I mean, a lot of Nelk guys are, they want to be the typical frat bros, chugging beers, going to the gym. I mean, you see it. It's kind of it's kind of hard to stop. So it's like the right thing is to separate, but I mean, with the way society works and how narratives and agendas are pushed by the people at the top who control everything, the Matrix. I think and it's gonna be linked, but it's about informing people, telling people about the truth, and spreading the message that masculinity has nothing. Masculinity is in the mind. It's not in. It's not physical by any means.
Got it. And how do you think so obviously the next generation of men, how do you think they will view masculinity compared to how we view masculinity today? Like, do you think that they're going to live up to those quote unquote expectations that people have about masculinity, or do you think they're going to redefine the meaning of what masculinity is?
Yeah, I mean the meaning of masculinity has changed over time. I mean back then, you got Alexander the Great, Napoleon. Masculinity meant being a leader, being strong, providing, right? Back like in the caveman times, where the man would hunt for the food, the woman stays, takes care of the child. And now we're kind of seeing women gain power, women gaining a little more quote unquote masculinity in a sense, you would say. They're gaining more positions of power. They're trying to become more masculine. And I feel like the idea of masculinity is always shifting in society. But the true meaning of masculinity, the one true meaning of masculinity, I think it should be, like I said, I've been saying this the whole interview. I mean, it's about standing for what you believe in, doing what you love to do, doing what you like. Because you only get one life, and a masculine man will not waste that life doing something for somebody else and caring about what others think. So, yeah, I mean, I hope this next generation of men, we do have a bright future. So, I think we have the ability to change what it means.
Got it. And just last question of the interview, is there anything else you wanted to share about your experience in the gym community or online spaces, or even obviously as a young man?
Hmm.
Um, is there any kind of want to talk a little bit more about? I know that there was something that I would love a little bit more clarification on, which was your take on toxic masculinity, because a lot of people talk about how being masculine may be a good thing, but then it crosses a limit when there's toxic masculinity. So I'd love some more clarification on that. If there's any other things that you want to talk about, would be happy to let you have the floor right now and kind of elaborate on.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea of toxic masculinity, it stems from, I would say, feminism and women wanting more power, when in reality they're not biologically made to have power. I would say to have leadership positions, which they so-called strive for. Um, in toxic masculinity, it's what feminists use to describe men who are telling the truth. Like when you say men are stronger than women, you get feminists arguing with you that women are as strong as men. We can do the same thing as you. But then why do you have two separate leagues for the WNBA and NBA? You have sports for different genders because there's a biological reasoning how we were made, how we were created. Men are physically stronger. Men are more intelligent. Men have more leadership ability. But that is not to say this is what people mistake. That is not to say that women can be strong. Yes, there are exceptions. Women can be more intelligent than men. But the rule does not disprove the exception. I mean, does not disprove the rule. And this is what a lot of people get wrong. A lot of feminists, a lot of people who try to call men toxic. It's just playing into the idea of gender roles, right? And that's how we create the nuclear family. That's how we create beautiful families. right? Without the promiscuity, the mom and the dad, they stick together, nurture the child. Dad does his job, mom does his job. That's how society's always been cultivating, developing. And that's how we've gotten to the point where we are today, where we have all this technology, right? We have all this infrastructure. We've landed on the moon because of people, right? And how do you make people? How do you create intelligent people? You give them a good mom and a good dad. And I think we're seeing less of that because of gender wars and this toxic masculinity is, and you wanted me to re-clarify it. I think it's just on the opposite spectrum of feminism. It's where guys take red pill too far. It's where guys say women should stay in the kitchen, right? It's like that is toxic masculinity. But toxic masculinity is not saying men are stronger than women. That's a fact. So I think that's where it reaches the limit. It's the hatred of the other gender is toxic masculinity. Stating facts is not toxic masculinity. It's a biological reality. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. If you have if you want me to redefine anything else, I'll do it. But yeah.
No, that was perfect. Thank you so much for your insight on that. And obviously, I would love for you to have the floor now. If there's anything else that you'd like to
Mhm.
elaborate on or share that we don't have the channel, make any comments that you'd like. But other than that, if you don't, then I really appreciate the opportunity to come on your platform and kind of have this conversation with you. I think, again, this is very applicable to, obviously as audience members ourselves, but I think it's just important to kind of, talk about these, sensitive topics because, if not us, then who else is going to do it? And so I really appreciate, obviously your young energy and obviously you're going down an amazing path right now in terms of, your channel and terms of talking about these issues. So I really appreciate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I appreciate you from coming on, and it's an honor to be asked by you to be interviewed. I This is an amazing opportunity. I think my concluding thoughts. I mean, I would like to conclude this by saying I'm not hating on women. I am not a women hater. I've got a lot of sisters, right? I've got a mom. It's like I don't hate women, right? It's factual reality so that we can make our country, civilization, society a better place with all the corruption that's going on with gender wars. So I just want to conclude by saying I respect both genders. I would say we are not equal, but we are synchronized. We should synchronize. Women are better at some things, we're better at some things. Where we lack, they come in and help us, and where they lack, we come in and help them. That's how I see it, and that's how it should be seen. So yeah, and regarding fitness, masculinity, this is a tip for you guys. If you're short and you go to the gym, do not get super buff because then you're gonna look like a stubby guy, and it's not appealing to women. So if you're short, you go to the gym, go for aesthetics, like go for that V taper, right? That's kind of what I have. Go for the V taper, be kind of lean, go for like like the pretty boy look. Don't go for like a big bulk, because then you're not gonna be appealing. You're gonna look like a Roblox character. It's not attractive. Trust me. Like I'm tapped in the black pill, so I know all this. But yeah, I mean that's one tip. If you're short, do not bulk. Just be aesthetic. If you're going to the gym, yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, bro. I'd like to have you on again if you want to come on. Talk about something else. We could do something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. More to
Hey,
come.
yeah. I have a question. Do you have anyone that is open to debating, or do you know anyone that's passionate about debating politics? Because I would like to have a debate one day on my show. So if you know anyone.
Absolutely. I mean, I can always find someone for you and then reach out to you for sure. I'm sure there's people out there that would love to kind of go at it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, I was thinking immigration, or we could do. Yeah, I was thinking immigration. If you have anyone, because
For sure.
I'm against it. So I would say if you could find someone that's for it, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be helpful.
Like for immigration in terms of like can you elaborate more on that?
Well, I'm saying I want to argue against it, and then if you have someone that's for it, that'd be great if you could if they would want to debate.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll keep you updated, bro.
for sure, bro. All right. Yeah, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night, friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. That's it for the interview, guys. Eli, I do slay. I do slay now. I do slay now. I'm like Future now, so I do slay. And Aqua, you are very big. You know, you need this mask. You know what, Aqua, you need to go to the gym because you are actually like you were pretty obese. Let's be honest. That's what you were known for, and right. But now you've lost the weight, obviously. But you've got to like, you're. This is towards you. You need to go to the gym. This is not for everyone else. You need to go to the gym, Aqua. You need to go to the gym. All right. So don't come in here telling me, oh, like respect, like, bro. Your jugs, your flops, sag to Narnia. Okay. And yeah, Eli. I mean, Eli. I'm gonna call you. You're like a. Eli's like a mid tier normie, mid high tier normie. Eli's mid tier high tier normie. Yeah. And yeah. I mean. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking shit. So. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Everyone who watched. I'm gonna give shout outs to everyone. I'm gonna give shout outs to Aqua. Gonna give shout outs to Anonymous for conducting the interview. Shout out to Eli Kruger. Shout out to Vasu Baga. Shout out to Vinod. And then who else? Yeah. Shout out to all these guys for watching. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Yeah. Have a good